Good evening, everyone. I wanted to just take this time to just talk to each and every one of you about that anxiety piece and that confidence piece that you guys keep hearing me constantly talk about. These are two of the main things that is going to help us get to that finish line before 2025 ends, right? So I've been hearing lately, and a lot of people have been reaching out to me. We've been talking about it in our discussions in the group chat and everything, and I just love it. I am here to tell each and every one of you, you know by now that you are not alone. I know. I sit there every day and I'm like, I'm helping everyone. I'm looking at these questions, trying to find all these questions to try to come up with the best way to try to teach some of these answers and try to teach some of these questions to each and every one of you. But I just want you all to know one thing. Carrie had anxiety so bad. I paid for my exam 5 months in advance before I actually sit and took it. But every time I would sit down and I would open one of those books, the words were like mumbo jumbo to me. I could barely understand it. I couldn't grasp it. I would get so anxious when I would sit down and try to read it. I would close the book, throw my hands up, and walk away. That is exactly what I used to do until I had to do. This is what I had to do. I had to acknowledge it. You can't run away from the anxiety. You can't just like pretend like, oh, it's not there. You gotta acknowledge it. You gotta, hey, face that anxiety head on. It's normal. It is a natural response. I had it. I had it bad. I've been upfront with each and every one of you since I started this journey with you all, and I would never lie to you, but I had it extremely bad. When I went to go and take my exam, when I got to that building, I could feel it. I could feel it, but I recognized it and I looked at it and I was like, not today. Today is not the day because I am here to prosper. I am here to tackle this exam, not today. I acknowledged it. Before I clicked start on my exam, I prayed first. Everybody knows if you've been working with me, been rocking with me from the beginning. I'm a very spiritual person. I hold faith to it that God is the reason as to why I have made it this far with everything that I have been doing. I said a prayer and I asked God, highlight the answers that I am not able to see. And he did just that. I was flowing with those questions. Once I slowed my heart rate down, I was ready to go. I acknowledged my anxiety. I recognized that it was there. I did something about it, right? Because when we try to run away from it, it doesn't do anything but continue to just chase us, right? And again, it's a natural response. It does not mean that you are not prepared. It does not mean that you are weak. It just means that, hey, the pressure is on. So, what am I going to do about it? And also, one of the things that I also struggled with, some of the common fears that I had, and I don't know if you've experienced it, but I've been hearing some people say that, what if I fail? Right? It's the fear of failing, the fear of running out of time when it comes to the exam, and also the fear of like, I just sat here and studied for 3 months straight. You telling me now I'm blanking out and I can't remember anything that I studied? Those are fears that you have. But this is what I want you to do. I had the same thing. And you know what I had to do? I care about whether if I'm going to succeed in this exam, and I know that you all do too, right? That energy that we have, that we are giving about that worry about failing, the energy that we are giving about running out of time, that energy that we are giving about blanking out and forgetting the things that we've been working so hard to move forward to, I want you to direct it toward the focus of you passing. We're going to reframe that, right? No pun intended about the exam and everything, but we are going to reframe that, and we need to direct that towards that focus that I'm crossing this finish line before. If I'm testing before 2025 end, I'm crossing that finish line before 2025 comes to an end. That's how we're going to reframe it. That's how we're going to look at that. The more and more we feed that fear, the bigger it is going to grow, the bigger it is going to override everything that you have worked so hard to do. I don't know what each and every one of you do when it comes to like trying to just, calm your anxiety or whatever. But whatever you're doing, rather if it's prayer, your breathing techniques that you've been using, um, getting adequate enough amount of sleep, um, you know, make sure you eat something before you take the exam. Um, I did, but it was something that was very small that I ate. I ate this little it was a breakfast bar that I ate, and then I had some water with it. But I didn't drink a lot of water because I didn't want to have to focus on whether or not if I had to use the bathroom or not. One of the biggest things that I did do was I spoke it into existence. I spoke power into it, right? The closer and closer that it came to the exam, and I would feel some of those thoughts that are starting to creep up. Nope, I'm ready. It had got to the point where I was excited to take this exam. I was ready to get it over with. I am ready. I am prepared. I have done everything that I needed to do to get me to this very moment. Just get me there, and I'm going to show you what I can do. I'm going to show you that everything that I have done to get me to this very moment, I'm going to break barriers with it. And that's that confidence piece that I have been speaking so highly about. We have been working so hard to do what? And I was talking to Belinda about this earlier today, about our brains are speaking a new language when we take this exam. When we've been studying the way that we've been studying, when you sit down in front of that exam and looking at those questions, your brain is going to read that language in a way that you didn't even know that you could read it. That's what it did to me on my test day. I had to alter my way of thinking. And that is what we do every single day when we are in that group, when we are on those study meets. I want our brains to be speaking a new language when you take this exam, so much that that confidence is going to be through the roof. Anxiety can't even make it through the door. That is what I want for each and every one of you. One of the things that I also did was, what I mean when I say find your weekly focus, I mean just that. Because when you find your weekly focus, you get to focus on and identify those strengths that you have made. What I used to do was, I used to celebrate when I would like, I understand it now. I used to celebrate. And you know what I used to do? I bought myself something. I would reinforce my gains. I would reinforce some of those small wins, and it would reinforce me that every single day that I studied, I would love to come home and study. I would love to crack open that book and learn more. If you're not doing that, try it, okay? I want each and every one of us to come up with these new ways that we are using to increase our confidence levels in order for that anxiety to just try to creep up. But once you recognize that anxiety creeping up, you're going to put it right back in this place right where it belongs, right? Because now I've got confidence to keep going. I am ready. I am prepared. I want each and every one of you, trust your preparation that you have taken to sit for this exam. Trust the knowledge that you have gained that has helped you find that clarity and that understanding, whether if it's structural, strategic, Bowen, whatever the case may be. When you are taking this exam, passing is about the strategy. How calm you are when you are taking this exam, not the perfection. Not you trying to make sure that I need to get every single one of these answers correct, because it may not happen. But when you are taking this exam, trust your knowledge, trust your preparation, trust that journey that it took you to get here, and trust your brain, because believe you me, it's speaking a brand new language. I promise you it is. If you are taking your exam tomorrow, this week, sometime next week, you've got this. You can do this. I believe in each and every one of you. I just need for each and every one of you to now believe in yourself. If you need to talk to me, if you need to send me a message, if you need like a little boost, if you need prayer, you can send me a message, send me a comment, send me a text message, and I am here for each and every one of you.